If you haven't completed this simple, yet sometimes overlooked system in Diablo 4, you could be missing out on 12 skill points and up to 24 paragon points. That is a massive source of damage that you will be missing out if you haven't completed this. What we're going to be talking about in this video is Renown. Now, what Renown is a reputation-based system that is designed to level up with you as you go and as you do basic functions throughout the game. How to get into this? When you open up your map at the very top here, you can see where it says claim rewards. That's the W key. When you're playing on mouse and keyboard, whatever it says for your console, that's going to be the button you're going to click. When you open this up, this is going to be your Renown menu. What it looks like is you have 5 different reward levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are all unlocked by completing all of the tasks below. You have collecting waypoints, unlocking strongholds, doing side quests, unlocking your altars of Lilith, and then when you're in Nahantu, if you have the expansion pack, you're going to unlock your tenets of Akarat. You're going to do side dungeons, and then discovering areas. That means that all you have to do is just run to an area that has not been discovered yet. What that's going to look like is if you go down to Nahantu and look, I have one area right here that's grayed out. That means that I haven't discovered it. I haven't ran over that spot yet. So simply just by playing the game, you're going to get rewarded for points. If we go back into your Renown system, what you get for each level, that is the really important part. This was recently updated to make your paragon points more accessible and a lot easier to do because this can be a grind. Now that they've fixed it, the only grind that you're going to have to do is for max obols. Now, obols have been updated too, and they're actually incredibly valuable. So if you need to, don't stop at your paragon points. Continue that grind. You can do it slowly, but unlock your obols. When you look at these, what it will show is that we have our skill points as our very first unlock. It's actually very quick to get. The second tier, you're going to get a potion capacity. The third tier, you'll get your skill points, and then your paragon points, and then your max obols along the bottom there. These little icon indicators, claimed by each character, unlocks for all characters on a realm. You only have to complete your Renown one time. So make sure you go out there and get it done. I know that it can get a little boring and a little grindy sometimes, but if you get it done once and you get it done early, you never have to touch it again. How you know that you've completed it is you'll get a check mark right below, right by where it says skill point. This will show up on every single character, even though it shows that these are locked for me. The only thing that is locked is the extra bonus and the gold. All of these have a green check mark next to it, which means that I have unlocked these and I now have access to it on every single character that I create. How you level up your ranks and the strategy that I use. Discovering the areas on a horse is incredibly fast. So once you've unlocked your horse, you can simply just run around. You can unlock all of the hidden areas. You go to your map, and anywhere that's a little grayed out on the map, you run right to it. The next thing that you did was unlock all of your altars of Lilith. The reason that you unlock altars of Lilith is that they all give main stat rewards, and they're going to give paragon points. So if you don't go unlock all of them, you're going to be missing out on some key points, and then all of the main stats that come along with each of the regions that you unlock. It's definitely worth going and unlocking every single one. Now, your tenets of Akarat, they actually do not unlock any extra stats or any bonuses. It's just used for Renown, but there are some fun little puzzles that you're going to have to do as you go through and do it. Now, this seems like a lot. It's a lot to keep track of. How do you know where to go? What do you need to do to make sure you can keep track of this? Do you have to write it all down? The answer is actually no. And I'm going to show you a tool that I use that makes it much easier to manage the Renown and keep myself on track so that this grind doesn't feel any worse than it needs to be. What I use is I go over to the Mobalytics website. Inside of this here, if you go over to the left-hand side here, you can bring up their interactive map. The interactive map looks like this right here. You can zoom it out so you can see the entire world of Sanctuary right now. You can zoom in on each region. So let's start right over here, right by Kyovashad. So we're going to zoom all the way in, and then we're going to go to the areas that we want to see. So let's start with our altars of Lilith. That's going to be the first thing that we're going to do. You can filter out using the key all of the things that you do not want to see. So we're going to take away our dungeons. We're going to take away stashes. We're going to take away our waypoints, wardrobes. You can take away everything. So we're going to just show your altars of Lilith. What's cool about this is that now we know exactly kind of where it's going to look. You go to your map. You know that it's going to be somewhere in this area. Now I have it discovered on mine, so it's going to show up. But you can gauge, okay, I know it's somewhere around this dark gray area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pin here. Now you put the pin there by left clicking on the map or whatever your console key is to set a pin. So once you put your pin on and you run out there, there's a couple more steps that you're going to want to do when you find the altar of Lilith. If you have never found an altar of Lilith before, they are always, and I mean always, hidden somewhere that is not very obvious. So they're very easy to run past. If you're looking for an altar of Lilith, you see how there's that little tiny narrow passage? If you know that this is the area where the altar of Lilith is, chances are it's going to be inside of that little tiny crevice. Now, if you see right here, this is your altar of Lilith. This will be clickable when you have not discovered it yet. So now we've ran all the way out here. We've discovered the altar of Lilith. We've clicked on it. We've gotten our stats. Now what do? We go back into Mobalytics, and then you go right to the altar of Lilith that you discovered, and then you click on the discovered icon here. Now it's showing that you have discovered that altar of Lilith. This is how you're going to keep track. You're just going to go through, and then you're going to mark every single one that you've found as discovered. It is a great way of keeping track of knowing exactly what you've done and how to do it. Now, this will save for you. You don't have to save it at all. It automatically does it. So this is what I used when I was doing my Renown grind, not once, but twice in Season 0 and Season 1. They did not let it save the first time. So everybody, count your blessings that you only have to do this one time. This has been absolutely key in making sure that I knew exactly where to go and what to do, and I had a plan of how to attack all of the altars of Lilith, and then when you go down to Nahantu, your tenets of Akarat. Something that Blizzard just recently added in that you can help use to get yourself around the map. If you go into options, and then you go over to accessibility, you're going to scroll down until you see your HUD compass. You're going to select the HUD compass. You can select high contrast arrow if you want. You can change the color of the arrow that you want. It really just depends on what your preference is. You're going to save it. And now, when I go and I find my next spot for my altar of Lilith, I'm now going to have a bright red arrow that's going to direct me there. I don't even necessarily need to look at the minimap. I can just follow that arrow, and wherever the arrow is, I can look and see where I'm going. I can look at the area around me. It is really, really cool, the new update that they have been adding in. Eventually, this looks like it's going to be the precursors to adding a map overlay. Hopefully, that is something that comes in the future. This will help you get there if you're going back and forth between your minimap and your character, looking at the ground, making sure that you're not running into monsters that are going to knock you off your horse. That's it. That is your Renown system that will help you get all of the skill points and the paragon points that you are missing. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends. Make sure that we can get as many people out there that didn't know they can get skill points and paragon points, those points. I'm live every night. Stop by, say hi, do your craft with me. Catch you on the clip side.